So Andrea, you know that we talk a lot about Social Security benefits in our office because we know that a lot of retirees have many questions regarding their Social Security benefits. And so anytime that I'm holding a class or doing any topic about Social Security, probably one of the most interesting topics that we get most questions on are spousal and ex-spouses benefits. Because many people really want to understand, how do we get the most out of our spouse's benefits? And when should we actually file for those benefits? And if you are wondering about that, you're watching the right video, because today we're going to go into some details on how you can get the most out of your spousal benefits. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And the reason we've created these educational videos is to make the difficult and stressful process of retirement income planning simple.
Absolutely, and we do this by incorporating a team of expert advisors ranging from certified financial analysts, certified financial planners, estate attorneys, insurance advisors, and other needed professionals to help us build a written retirement plan that will let our clients know when, where, and how to take money from their retirement savings.
For the best retirement income planning advice, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos.
So when we're talking about spousal or even ex-spouses benefits, it's really important for you to understand that you can actually receive up to 50% of that worker's primary insurance amount. So for instance, if that worker is actually going to be receiving at their full retirement age $2,000, for example, you as a spouse or an ex-spouse could receive up to 50% off of their record. So it's really important that you understand how you should coordinate your benefits with your spouse or ex-spouse in order for you to maximize all of your Social Security income that you may be eligible to receive. And so we're going to talk about that in today's video, and how you should go about thinking of when and how you should file for those benefits in order to do that. But before we get into our video for today, there are 2 rules to retirement income planning that we always want to give you. And Andrew, what are those 2 rules?
Well, rule number 1 is to never run out of money. And rule number 2 is to never forget rule number 1.
So let's go ahead and talk about how you can get the most out of your spouse's benefits. Okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about how you may qualify for your spousal benefits. One of the criteria that you must meet is that you have to be at least age 62 or older in order to qualify for spousal benefits. But there is an exception to this rule. If you are caring for the worker's minor child and they're under the age of 16, or you're taking care of a disabled adult child, you can receive these spousal benefits at any age as long as that worker has filed for their benefits. So if a worker has filed for their benefits and you're taking care of a minor child under the age of 16 or an adult, a disabled child, you are eligible for retirement benefits off that worker's record. As I mentioned, your spouse must be receiving a Social Security retirement benefit or a disability benefit from Social Security in order for you to actually have any benefits coming off of that record. And you must have been married for at least 1 year or longer in order to receive spousal benefits. So if you meet these qualifications, you will be eligible for a spousal benefit. So now that you know what the qualifications are for applying for your spousal benefits, how much could you really get from a living spouse or an ex-spouse? And yes, you can still receive benefits from an ex-spouse. So we're not going to cover the ex-spouse benefit qualifications in this video, but I do encourage you to go check out the video that we did on divorce spousal benefits in order to get a full explanation of what it will take for you to qualify for benefits, even from an ex-spouse's record. So as we move along, the maximum is 50% of the spouse or ex-spouse's PIA, or of course also known as the primary insurance amount. That is the maximum amount that you can receive off of any spouse's record. So what's going to take place is that you're going to receive the higher calculated benefit amount, either based off of your own record or your spouse's record. This is also known as deemed filing, and we're going to cover that in just a moment. But anyone who applies for benefits, as I mentioned, born after January 2nd of 1954 or later, you're going to be under this deemed filing provision now. The one thing that you must understand is that you cannot collect both benefits amounts. This gets real confusing for some people because they think, okay, I can get 50% of my spouse's record and I can also get benefits off my own record. You can't do that. They're only going to give you the higher of your amount or the higher of 50% of that spouse's or ex-spouse's record. So let's talk about what is deemed filing. First of all, deemed filing works like this. If you're eligible for your benefits on your own record, you're going to receive that benefit first. Then, if you're eligible for a spousal benefit or a benefit boost from the spouse, when they file off of their record, you're going to receive that benefit. And so, if they have not filed, you will not be receiving that spousal benefit as of yet. But once they do file, you become eligible for the spousal benefit, and you must start taking that spousal benefit when you become entitled to it. Now, here's another issue that I think that many people need to be aware of, is taking benefits before their full retirement age. As many people know, you can actually take your benefits from Social Security as early as age 62, but you're going to have a reduced benefit if you do that. And it's going to be a permanent reduction of your benefits. So you really have to be careful here and understand that. So I'm going to take a look at this chart. This chart is going to illustrate exactly how detrimental it could be if you take your benefits early. If we're just taking a look between the years of 1943 and 1954, if you were born between these years, your full retirement age will be age 66. So if you were to take your benefits early at age 62, you're going to receive a 25% reduction. But it doesn't stop there. If your spouse is eligible off of your record as well, and they're going to be receiving benefits off your record, they're going to get a 30% reduction from that benefit. So you not only reduce your benefit, you're also going to be affecting the spousal benefit as well. And you can see that increases every year after 1954. And as you get to 1960 and later, if you take your benefits at age 62, you're going to be receiving a 30% permanent decrease on your benefit record and a 35% decrease to that spousal benefit. Let's take a look at an example here how this would work. So let's say Mr. I Don't Know was born in 1943. His full retirement age is 66. And let's just say hypothetically his benefit at his full retirement age is going to be $2,500 a month. The spouse could receive one half of that primary insurance amount, or $1,250 per month. But if Mr. I Don't Know decided to take his benefits early at age 62 because he didn't know any better, his benefit amount will be reduced by 25%, and he'll be receiving $1,875 per month. In lieu of that, it's also going to affect Mrs. I Don't Know's spousal benefit. Instead of receiving $1,250 per month, she's now only going to be receiving $875 a month, a 30% reduction of this amount. So, of course, if Mrs. I Don't Know is watching this educational video, she's going to probably be pretty upset. So let's go ahead and talk about how we can possibly make Mrs. I Don't Know just a little bit happier here. So if we're looking at this example, let's just say that half of Mr. I Don't Know's PIA off of his earning record would be $1,000, meaning that his PIA at his full retirement would be $2,000. So half of that would be $1,000. Let's also assume that Mrs. I Don't Know has some earnings off of her own record, and she was going to be receiving at her full retirement age $750 off of her own record. So let's talk about how this might work. So she's going to be receiving $750 off of her own record at full retirement age, but half of her spouse's PIA is $1,000. So what is the Social Security Administration going to do? They're going to give her a boost on her own record. So instead of receiving $750, she's going to receive a boost of $250 to equate half of the higher earning spouse's PIA. Remember, you always get either the higher of your own benefit record or half of the spouse's PIA. Let's take a look at another example here. Let's say Mr. I Don't Know's PIA, or half of his PIA, would have been $1,250. And Mrs. I Don't Know is still going to be receiving $750 off of her own record. Well, what's going to happen in this situation is that her spousal boost is going to be $500 in this particular example. And that's going to give her a total benefit of $1,250, which is going to be an adjustment of half of the higher earning spouse's PIA or primary insurance amount. Let's take a look at one more example here and how this could actually work, because I think it is really important that we understand all facets of how this could play out. Let's assume in this example here, our last example, that half of Mr. I Don't Know's PIA is $1,000 like before. But in this last example, let's assume that Mrs. I Don't Know is going to receive $1,000 off of her own work record. So she's going to be receiving $1,000 on her own. So in this example, you're not going to receive a benefit boost because the amount that you're going to receive off of your own record is equal to half of the higher earning spouse's PIA as well. So anytime that you're going to be receiving a benefit amount off your own record that's going to be equal to or even more than what half of the spouse's benefit would be, you're only going to receive that higher amount. So if Mrs. I Don't Know is receiving $1,200 and Mr. I Don't Know's half of his PIA equals $1,000, she'll receive her $1,200. Remember, you get the greater of the two. So after Mrs. I Don't Know got a bit of this information on this particular slide, as you can see, she's now a little bit happier. So I hope that our educational video today gave you some really important insight on how to maximize your spousal benefits, on when to take it and maybe how to take it. So if you have any further questions or if you have any concerns about the information that was shared in this video today, please do not hesitate to reach out to our office and let us help you understand how your own personal situation should be handled.
To learn more about our services and how we can help you to increase your chances of not outliving your retirement savings, make sure to click on the link in the description below and sign up for our free Maximizing Your Retirement Income Masterclass. After this video, please check out our other videos that we've created that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers.